Jack, you've written a wonderful piece that you shared in the one-pager that was passed out at our Gather Us in Imagine meetings. Can you talk to us a little bit about what inspired you to write that piece?
Wow. Well, yes, last fall, Zev Rosenberg was teaching a class in Westminster Hall, and I guess every day we learn something new, and among other things that I learned that day as we read from the Torah was that in Hebrew there are no ways to accentuate or underline a particular passage. They all just run in line, and I learned for the first time that the way that the authors would make a point would be to repeat the phrase. And we were reading from the 28th chapter of Genesis, and we were reading about the experiences there in terms of what was said about the place. And I came away with a new understanding that repetition of the word, the place, was the way that the point was made about Bel-El, and I think it was an important point. Then I was in the sanctuary later, and I looked around and saw the people, saw the chancel, saw those beautiful stained glass windows, and it hit me like a bolt. This is the place. And I think the coincidence was that at the same time, a spirit and space group was working, and we're working at the same thing that I was then thinking about. And I came away from that experience convinced that the Holy Spirit had led me to a new and deeper understanding of what this church really means, this place.
Jack, thank you. Phyllis, can you tell me a little about why this place, the place, is so important to you?
When we first joined the church 30 years ago, our daughter Nancy was married, and I got to walk down the aisle with my son Jim on one side, my son Rich on the other side. That was a high point in this place. The spiritual teaching and preaching of Bill Jackson, and certainly of Dave DeVries, has touched me more than once. One Sunday in Westminster Hall, where we had a teacher, Rabbi Spitzer, brought us the Torah. The Torah is not paper, it's beautiful white leather. He unfurled it, it went all the way around Westminster Hall, and we all got to put our hands on it. It is 100 years old. Those first 5 books of the Old Testament have been preserved thousands of years. Of course, the food, clothing ministry and prayer ministry in this church has meant a great deal to me because I have a small part in it. The very special joy of holding hands with some of our poor people and asking them, what's going on in your life? What can I pray for? And they share their lives with me. That is a very special, meaningful, inspirational experience for me. In this place. In this place.
Phyllis, thank you.